Hi everybody, I am back. I forgot to delete my other two videos off my phone that I uploaded, so my memory was full. And so I've deleted those so that we could at least have some, so I can finish these for you. I am so sorry that it cut off. Anyway, so there's a spider, and I don't like spiders. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay. No worries. I got it. I don't like spiders at all. So, sorry about that. I'm sure those sounds on eBay or on YouTube when on my video just now probably sounded really weird. Like, what is wrong with this person? This woman. But there was a spider on my shelf. And it had to get off. It had to go bye-bye. So it went bye-bye. I'm so sorry. It just like... if I see a mouse, I'm okay. I don't jump in a chair or anything. But spiders, oh yeah. I am just hate them. So, okay. Guess who made a boo-boo? I forgot to paint the first coat of that on my side. So let's do that quickly. I can't believe I did that, especially if I'm looking right at it. But that's okay. We'll go ahead and paint the rest of it, and hopefully that'll be dry. Now, the other thing you can do with DIY paint, or I guess any paint, but I don't know. I haven't used any other paint to know if I can or you can do this or not, and it would be okay, is to get a heat gun and dry it with that. It dries a little bit more quickly. However, you run the risk of crackling. Now, if you like the crackle and distress look, then yeah, that's oh man, I just forgot. Then you can do that. I do that every once in a while. Let me get this out of my face. I do that every once in a while just while I'm in a hurry to get things dry so I can get it done. But typically I just let it dry on its own because it dries so fast that when I'm working on several different pieces, I can just let these dry like I have on these, and it will dry quickly. And that way, when I'm done with the other pieces, I can come back to it and it will be dry. And let me turn this around without getting into my wet stuff. I'm going to do this side so I don't forget. And see, it doesn't take that long to paint a shelf like this. And then if you do want to do anything with it, you could, just some things that you can do. You can distress it and make it look like it is old and worn. Milk paint is really good to do with that because it will chip on its own if you don't add any bond to it. And one of these times I will show you the bond and how I use it and what it looks like afterwards. And because milk paint is really tricky, it's pretty much got a mind of its own. And that dresser that I told you about in the other video, it was my fault because I wasn't thinking. I was kind of in a hurry to get it done because it was in the middle where I'm sitting here because this is the only place that I can have the room to paint. And it's not a very big place. So I wanted to get it out of here. So I did not think to either do one or two things. You can sand it. If it's a really slick surface, you can sand it because milk paint needs something to grab onto, or you could add your extra bond. And I did not do either. And it chipped like all over. I mean, it was like falling off. It was chipping so bad. So what I had to do is just mix up some more. It comes in a powder form and you mix it with warm water. And I had to mix some more. But actually when you do that, it's not so bad. I just hated it because I had to take the time to do it again. But you can paint over that. You can get off all the flakes, of course, and then paint over it. And it just looks like the old, you know, how they used to paint everything several times before, you know, because they wanted to change colors or whatever. You can do that, and even with two different colors, or you could actually put a few patches of some color in that on that, and then when it chipped off, it showed the colors I had painted on there. So it makes it look like it's been painted a lot of times. When it chips off like that, then it actually looks like it's layered, like it had to be repainted and made it just look that much older and distressed and everything. And I was satisfied when I was finished with it. So anyway, this one is almost done. And if you notice, I'm done with this, so I make sure when I'm done with my paint, I put the lid back on because I don't want to spill it. It's this here is $13. Then I get bigger ones like this one here in the main colors that we use all the time, and it's like $30. But the thing of it is it lasts forever. This here, if you'll notice, it turns to when it's, see that is actually dried clay around the rim and everything. So what I will do is take a small spatula and take that all off. It is clay, so it's not, I mean, it's not dried yet. Even if it's dried, you can do this because it rehydrates. But I will scrape that all off and put water in it and just stir it like crazy, and it will actually reuse what is dried as clay. So our little bucket here is done, and I am not going to paint this completely because it did a really good coverage. There's a few places I'm going to dab at that is inside the little flowers, and probably the same thing with the other one. DIY paint does really good coverage, and there are times that you don't have to use enough anymore. And since I am going to distress this, it doesn't matter that I have complete full coverage on it. And let's see about our little box over here. I see a few places that I do need to get on the back. It's not going to, I want to do the back where it's completely coated. And because the back may not show, but I do like it to look finished. And probably when I get done with it, before I completely finish it, I'm going to paint the bottom of it, and that way it will look finished. And this is such a cute little box. You'll see on the sides here where didn't quite get enough paint on it. That's basically what I'm doing here, is just getting the places that I can see that didn't completely get the coverage, because I want it to dry really fast, because I want to move on to the wax of it, the waxing. Now, what you can do, and maybe on this shelf is what I'll do. I've got the clear wax out. Probably on this shelf here, I will do clear wax, and that also completely seals it. But it'll make it kind of this, bring back the color a little bit. It won't bring it back to that bright blue, but it'll bring it back some, and that way it will look, it's finished, it'll be protected, the paint will be protected, and okay, I'm gonna let this dry, and basically this is dry now, and so I am going to, let me get the lid on this, apply my white wax. This is a little jar. I got it to see what it's like, because I had never used it before, and I haven't used that much. I don't know how much, if you can see that much. I haven't used it that much, but and I still have quite a bit, but next time I will get, this is the one I use a lot, the clear wax, DIY clear wax. I will get the white wax in this size, because I do use it quite a bit. Now that I've seen it and I've used it and I like it. Sometimes you have to, your wax will, I don't wax or wash my wax brushes every single time I use them, because it's just wax on there. When I do wash them, I wash them in hot water and Dawn soap. All my paint brushes I wash in warm water and Dawn dish soap. So here I'm just going to, I guess I'm not going, maybe on the other one I'll remember to distress it before but I might be able to get some distressing on this as I'm wiping it back off. But I'm just going to use the white wax. Can you see? And it'll get down into the little grooves of those flowers and just make it stand out a little bit more. I'm going to wipe it back, and when I wipe it back, I'll use my damp cloth I have and try to get some of that paint to come off the raised areas of the flowers. And so I'm just going to, I mean, it doesn't take that much white wax or any kind of wax just to cover, just because it has great coverage and everything. And those little places that I painted, if it comes off, I'm okay with that, because, you know, I want to do the distressing anyway. And when I use a color like this, see it's coming off on my wax brush, I will take a cloth and just wipe it in there real good and get all that color off so it doesn't go onto another color. Or if it's really bad, if I've used black with white wax, I would go ahead and wash my wax brush, just because it will have to, I don't want to transfer my color into my white wax. And that is my husband's phone. It does that all the time. And I tell him, shut it off. My gosh. And when I'm done with this one, with this video, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. My other video, my haul video of hard goods, probably won't be able to do it today. And I'll tell you why. We've got to run these over to the booth And I need to run to Joann's to get some fabric for that vanity. And then Kansas City Chiefs comes on, and since we live in Missouri, my husband said I'm watching it, but it doesn't come on until 5:30. So what I'm thinking is that if I get home after taking these and it's got a little bit of time, then maybe I can get the video in before the game comes on. So I'll show you what I'm doing is I'm just buffing off the white wax, and it stays in the crannies, the crevices and everything. But what I'm also doing at the same time is the raised areas on the flowers, since my rag is damp, and that's all you need, just a damp rag to distress it, because if you have a really wet rag, it will pull back a lot of paint. You may want to do that if you're doing something big and you want it pretty distressed. It looks great like that. I even use baby wipes if I'm doing something small. I'll use baby wipes, and that way it will do the same thing, and then you can just throw them away. And I almost got this side, and I will show you what this side looks like. And just let me get the rest of this side done. And now this will be splotchy. It will look splotchy until it dries. And then the splotchiness will go away. Here's the side that I just did. Pulled back some of on the raised areas here, I pulled back some of the paint, so it just kind of looks like it's kind of distressed a little bit. And I don't know if you all agree. You can leave me a comment if you agree that I think it looks better this way. I love the color. I love the white wax on it. And it was only $2. And I can turn around and sell this for, probably $14, $15. I might put some, what I might do is go ahead and put some spring flowers in it, because I think everybody is ready for spring. So this one here, it is done. See how fast that was? Like I said, the splotchiness that you see here, that will dry. That will go away. It'll dry as the wax dries. I do have a buffing brush for my wax stuff, and I won't do it all, but I just run it across it, and it just kind of shines it up a little bit. See the difference here? Where I have, let me do this, half of it. There. See, I don't know if you can see the difference on camera. On this side here, I just buffed it a little bit, and this side here, I have it. So I won't do this all on camera, because I don't want to bore you all on doing steps that maybe you find boring, but I've already got half of it done, so show it to you when and it doesn't take much. I'm just going up and down on it, and buffing it out, and just kind of makes it have kind of a glossy appearance. And there it is. Can you see the difference in it? It makes it a little bit shinier. Not much, but you still see the wax in it. You have the distressed areas. And like I said, if you see the splotchiness, that'll go away when it dries. So, by now, this is done. And this still is a little bit wet, so I don't know if I don't know. We'll see what the time is. I don't want to bore you all. If you know, I have several different things I do on my channel. I do this kind of, actually this is how I started off on YouTube, is by watching Zeb and Jamie. They do a lot, and her YouTube, and I highly suggest, if you guys like the crafty arts and craft type of videos, wood and makeovers and stuff, you need to go to their channel. It's Jamie Ray Vintage on YouTube, and she has some beautiful stuff. And I actually started watching this because I had known for a while I wanted to do this kind of stuff. I just didn't know how or what or how to get started on it, what to use. And when they started, when I started watching their videos, it's like, there you go, that's what I'm going to do. And I have, since then, it's just a little at a time that I do, but I have gotten all the colors of their paint. It's not their paint, they sell the paint. Debbie Beard, she also has a YouTube, Debbie's Design Diary. She actually is the owner of DIY Paint, and Jamie does sell it. And she also has her own stencil brand, JRV Stencils, as well as stencil brushes, and it has JRV for her, and those are awesome. They also sell the Paint Pixie brushes like I've been using here. I love these brushes, and so if you're interested, look them up and see what all they do. They just built, this is so awesome, it's like a dream house, and they built a house out from another farmhouse, and they just added to it, and it's gorgeous. And Zeb had done all the work on it. He had, of course, he had some help, but he did the majority of it. And they have on their channel, they have the farmhouse videos of them working on it, and it's very pretty. And now they also do, on Saturday nights, they do a thrift haul where they go and do, and then they show the thrift items, and then they paint, but they are in their home, and it's just gorgeous. I'm so happy for them. I'll tell you what, I've never seen anybody work as hard as those two. I mean, I get tired watching them. It's like, man, to have that kind of energy back when I'm in my 30s, that would have been awesome. It would be awesome to have it back. Okay. All right, this one is covered, and now I'm just going to take the same cloth, damp, and I'm just going to start wiping it back. Getting that, leaving it in all the little crevices, but kind of hitting the top a little bit more of the raised areas, so it will distress it and have some of that gold peeking through, which I think this color and gold is just beautiful. Very beautiful. So this is, and the thing about this is it is so easy to do, and you don't have to do anything else to it. You're done. You don't have to do any kind of sealant on it or anything that and then this is turning out so pretty. What I'd like to do is get some of that gold. I've got some wetter places here, and just rub a little bit harder if it's not coming off really well. I want some of that gold on those legs to come through. And I love this little treasure box is what I'm going to call it. This treasure box with all your treasures in. What I was going to tell you guys earlier, and I got off, I love to talk, and I don't have a big social life because it's work and home. I don't get out that much. I do have I have physical problems, things, and it does make me have a compromised immune system. So I very seldom, I did yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, yesterday I did go to Walmart because I had to get a couple of things, and that I had to cash my check from my booths and stuff. So I went in, and I always wear a mask when I go in. But my husband works at Walmart, so I send him things that I need, the list that I need of things, and he picks them up for me, so I don't have to go in that often. And because I'm just so protective because of the situation that's going on right now, I just want to make sure I'm protecting myself, because there's you can easily get it, but like I said, I do have a compromised immune system. So alrighty, there's that. And now what I'm going to do is buff it back a little bit. This also gets rid of some of the extra that your rag doesn't, the extra wax that maybe your rag didn't get it completely all the way, and it just kind of makes it where it doesn't look clumpy. And it also makes it shine. And like I said, if you see any, now this is really doing good on the pulling it back, because this is, now that I'm getting it buffed, oh wow, I will show you in just a minute, the little faint areas of gold that came through. I don't want any clumps of wax to get in those crevices. It just doesn't look good. And I didn't do the back now. I will do it later, but I will do it before I take it to the booth. I'll probably do it when I get off here, because that's not real exciting to see just the back. Being buffed or waxed or whatever. Because I'd like to get the clear wax on this and show you guys the clear wax. Alright. That looks good. There it is. You see the gold coming through here. And I love the feet, the little legs on this. Just so cute. So, yeah, it did good. And now I'm going to close up my white wax, and what I do is take a little paper towel. I use a lot of these blue paper towels from the automotive, and I'm just going to wipe this down and kind of just scrub off that blue, and that way it does not transfer to another project. Alright, let's get the clear wax and get this going. Put my two paintbrushes over here so I can wash them out, and getting this thing and this here, you can tell it's just a clear wax that covers the shelf. But the thing of it is that, let me show you what I'm talking about here. See the wax that I put on, it's bringing out the darker blue. It's bringing out the the blue closer to what I painted, but not so blue that it just is like, oh my gosh, that blue is so sticks out so much. This will also protect the little shelves and the key holders and stuff, so that it doesn't the paint doesn't wear off or anything. And real easy to apply. Oh, another thing that I was going to tell you about the DIY, talking about the finish coating of it, is that this big brush is hard to get in the little crannies there. There is a top coat called Big Top, and that I usually put on furniture. It is an extra protection I put on the top of like tables and stuff. I will put about 3 coats on the top, and it just covers it so that it doesn't get bumped or anything like that. And so you can use that